Good morning.
Matt, the NFL says that they're going to allow head coaches to delegate the throwing of the red challenge flag. Do you enjoy that too much to give it up, or what's your thought
I
process?
probably should give it up based on past actions, so, no, I'll probably hold the challenge flag.
Do you feel good about
If not, it's gonna be Joe McKillop.
Do you feel good about your process? I mean, obviously Connor's really been good for you, kind of.
Yeah, I think, yes. Where it gets challenging is if you leave, and go to the, if you go talk to the quarterbacks or receivers or whoever, somebody on offense, when the defense is out there and you have a bang play, you gotta, but Connor's usually in my ear, and then you just have to have urgency to get up there and throw the flag.
Did you used to have Rich kind of watch the line if you had to go back and?
No, it's always been Connor.
Did Delmonte Jackson have core muscle surgery?
Who told you that?
Well, I knew the injury was core, so,
Yeah. No, he did in the offseason.
any idea how much longer he'll be out?
I couldn't tell you.
I mean, he had been practicing.
Yeah.
I don't think, I know he did not film it, I'm not sure.
No. This is, yeah, that was in the springtime or whatever. He just has been trying to work through some of the stuff, and hopefully he'll be out there shortly.
I asked you yesterday about Keyshawn not getting, not playing with the ones for the 130, probably played half the snaps yesterday. What's the thinking there with him in St. Jude's?
Just everything's a competition right now, so we're gonna put different guys in different situations and different spots and see how they respond.
How's he handled it?
I think he's had two really solid performances.
What have you seen from St. Jude's that's caught your attention so far?
I think there's a lot of things he's done in terms of coverage and also fitting up in some of the run support things that we want to make sure we get from our corners. And so it's going to be great to see him in live action.
Yeah, what do you thought of what Jaylin Simpson sort of done with the opportunities he's had?
Yeah, I think he's really making an impact. I think he's made a lot of plays. Certainly, you could see it on the last play of practice yesterday where he picked that ball off. But I think I see a guy that's growing, that's playing with more confidence, and he's like a lot of these guys. You're just excited to see him play in preseason.
Did you see this coming last year? We don't see any of the competitive stuff once training camp ends.
I think we've always seen a skill set in him that he possesses, and I think he's got a knack for taking the ball away that goes back to his days at Auburn. But yeah, so we've been excited about him. It's just there's always a little bit of a transition there when you take a guy that's played safety predominantly and then you move him to corner.
Is there any timeline for Carrington Valentine?
I'm hoping next week that he'll be back on the practice field.
Is Jordan going to play on Thursday in Pittsburgh?
He will, as of right now. I always have the right to change my mind.
And does that go back to what you were saying yesterday, or what's your thought process there?
What do you mean?
About how many snaps in preseason?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty fluid in regards to how many snaps. But I do think there's a lot of value for all our guys to just get mentally prepared to go play a game. Whether it's one play, whether it's 3 plays, 10 plays, the whole game. I think there's a ton of value in that. Just getting your process down.
What's the difference? You kind of saw last year you did play with a few more times in the preseason. What was the value you saw come out that early in the regular season? You said they seemed to play better.
Yeah, I think, but it's not just one guy. It's the collective, right? It's everybody that's out there.
Matt, Bill asked you about the offensive line yesterday. Do you need to see those, again, understanding the risk versus reward of preseason play, do you need to see those guys a little bit longer, even if Jordan's not in there?
Yeah, I think there's certain individuals that will stay in the game.
Matt, that slot
position can have a lot of different body types, whether it's the kind of smaller, shiftier guys. You guys have kind of used that safety, whether it's with Bullard or now giving Catano Ladapo some looks there. What do you guys look for in that specific role?
Well, it just depends what you're asking them to do, but certainly, I think it starts with, you want somebody that will go in there and fit the run, but also he's got to have some coverage ability, so, and then ultimately, we got to play to the guy's strengths.
The Steelers still embrace the camp in Latrobe and St. Vincent, coaches and players. And I know why you had to make the change in 2020, but, you know, is that in the back of your mind about, you know, that period of bonding with the team?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why you're always trying to create ways. I do think it's a little bit different now. If we were to go off-site, yeah, then I think you get a ton of benefit from that. But being that we are here, you know, those guys have no choice but to go back to the dorms. Like I was in LA, we did the same thing. We went down to Orange County, and there's no, you know, you go back to the room, you hang out with the guys. And I think it could be a little bit different here in regards to some of these guys, especially with, I don't know if you've seen the number of guys that are fathers now, but there's a lot of babies around practice. And I think a lot of these guys, based on the time limits or whatever, the camp's not like what it used to be when you were here at, you know, 7 in the morning till after 9 o'clock at night, where they would just go back and go to bed. I think we get out a lot of times 6 or 6:30, and these guys would go home and then just go back to go to sleep.
Matt, you mentioned yesterday at NFL Network that Jordan Love is the best you've ever been around when it comes to both line of scrimmage, protections, and things of that nature. When did you see that really take hold, as far as going from really kind of studying under Aaron to really mastering what he's working with?
Yeah, I think it was definitely a process that's just evolved over time. I mean, he is so in tune with everything we're doing, and shoot, it happened today, where he's in there and we're talking about different looks about what you could do, and he said something that I hadn't thought of, and I was like, oh yeah, it's pretty good. So I think he's really grown in that facet, and he has complete command at the line of scrimmage, and then he trusts everything that we talk about in that room, and he goes out there and executes it.
Stacy gave you the chance to walk that back by pointing out that you coached Aaron Rodgers. So when you say that, what did Aaron do at the line that is, like, he kind of seemed like he had free reign to do whatever he wanted, and maybe that's part of it, but what was kind of what's the difference there?
Well, it just depends on the situation, without getting into too many details. But Aaron was phenomenal too, don't get me wrong. And I think Jordan really benefited from watching him and how he operated and how quickly he could process things. But I do think our offense has evolved over time too. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
Matt, what's the relationship been like between Jordan and Tyrod in that room, and just the 5-month span that you've had them together?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, you can't help but not like Tyrod Taylor. I mean, he is a G. He's a great dude, really good football player. He's awesome to have in that room.
We've talked a lot about what he brings from experience and how he can help Jordan, but Jordan has missed time each of the last 2 years, so he may have to play. Looked like he had a really good day yesterday. Is it clear to you that he can not just be a great mentor, but can still play at a high level?
Oh, absolutely. I think, and it's been fun to go through this process, again, not holding anything back and throwing everything at him, and just to see how he's handled it, and I think he's done a heck of a job.
2 more, please.
Matt, I'm sure it's hard to game plan for preseason game number 1 with the new head coach or new offense, whatever it is. What do you...
There's no game planning going on, I promise you that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like we're negligent and you have an idea of what somebody may do, but you're running just like base core concepts in every phase of the game. So, because you want your guys to feel prepared when they go out there, to have an idea of what they may or may not see. But I think what's been great about this camp is I think we've seen a lot of different things from really both sides of the ball, from our offense in terms of how we motion and you know, use misdirection plays, to our defense and some of the looks that we're getting. And I know it's typical, a lot of special teams coordinators, they got their own little pack that they do going into a lot of these games, so they don't try to expose somebody else.
So then, with that being said, are you just looking at how they respond, or just make sure?
You're looking at everything, how they compete, how they're able to process in the moment. There's nothing like it, you know, the pressure of just, it's a game, so you're looking at everything.
Is Josh Jacobs any closer to coming back, or is he still gonna be out a while?
I mean, he's gonna be out for at least this week.
Bill asked you about Keyshawn earlier, we were asking about Belton earlier in the week. What do you find out about guys when something like this happens and they're challenged or they lose their spot? What do you find out about them?
Just how do you respond to adversity? And adversity is basically the name of the game in this league. So you just got to respond, and when given your opportunities, go out there and compete it to the best of your ability.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.